I do this every day, don't I? Yeah, be good. I think I really do this every day. Ouch. Good morning. Oh, okay. Got it. Good. Maybe. Good morning. It is a Friday. Good morning. Y'all will guess what time I woke up. Y'all will never guess what all I've done this morning. You'll never guess. The Expressions Bible. Y'all will never guess everything that I've gotten completed this morning already. Hey, Adrian, how y'all know that? How'd y'all know I was up at 5 a.m.? Y'all got cameras or something? I was indeed up at 5 a.m. I was. I've been cleaning since I got up, and I immediately started cleaning, and I got the whole house clean and mopped and laundry going. Lucky guess. Yep. Kelsey has already been up for 2.5 hours, and the whole house is clean, and it smells delicious. And that makes my heart so happy. So, so happy. Good morning. Charity, you have to go back to bed, sis. Do a do-over. Go back to bed. Good morning. It just feels so clean in here. I got the whole house clean before anybody even woke up. Before I even got Steve up. I am feeling pretty accomplished this morning. Now, that's not saying at about 2 o'clock today, Kelsey ain't gonna, fall right on over. But it is all clean, and it is feeling great. And that's all that matters. Oh, no. You're the boss. Call in. The only thing I accomplished is being late for work. I love it. Oh, no, Adrian. I'm sure I'll be sleepy. I will probably only have 1 cup of coffee on the coffee talk because I've already drank 2. So this is my 3rd cup. I figured I gotta have it for coffee talk. But I'll probably only drink this one. Everybody's good. Emma's eyes are a lot better, so they'll be able to go to school next week. So, but as far as everything else, everybody's feeling pretty good. I think we wasn't feeling good yesterday. I really think it was the food we ate or something. I don't know. I think it was Pizza Hut. I'm not sure. So got your question. Y'all's reading for today is if you're reading the Bible in a year, your reading today is Genesis 18, 19, and then some of 20, 20 and 21. Would y'all like me to go over that? Or is that what y'all want to talk about on Coffee Talk and we just kind of go over that? Or would y'all like me to go ahead and start reading in Genesis 21, which is when Abraham has to send Hagar away? Where would y'all like me to start? Where would y'all like me to start? Also, if you're reading the Bible in a year, can I suggest something to you? January 7th you have a lot to read, okay? Like, I don't know why they made that one so long, and then January 8th is not long at all. That don't make no sense to me. I would highly suggest, like, reading 3 pages and then reading 3 pages the next day. And then you'll be exactly where you're supposed to be. Like, you don't lose any time there. So, I wouldn't read all that for January 7th. That's a lot. It's actually 6 full pages. That's very overwhelming for somebody who is just starting out reading the Bible in the year. But then January 8th is super short. So I would highly suggest reading like 3 pages, and then you'll still be exactly where you're supposed to be.
Make sure your Bluetooth's off.
Okay. Hold on, y'all. We got to make sure Bluetooth's off. Okay. We are doing the Bible reading in a year together as a group. If you click on my profile and go to the link tree, you will see it is a POH, which stands for Purpose of Hope, reading the Bible in a year. So let's go over. You want to go over what y'all are supposed to read today? No, sometimes on Tuesday nights we jump around to that. It just really depends. Okay. Let's see. And that gives me an opportunity to talk about what I really wanted to talk about yesterday. Anyway, so we actually read all the way up until verse 33. Let's see. So wait a second. We actually read all of 18 yesterday on Coffee Talk, which will be uploaded today. So we actually read all of that and talked about that yesterday. So I think we're going to start at Genesis 19 when Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed. And also one of my favorite parts, which is Lot's wife, because it's a very good teaching moment. And then I also kind of want to hit on today, definitely Genesis 19:30 through 38, because I'm sure people will have lots of questions about that. So I think that's where we're going to start this morning. We're just going to go ahead and jump in. So Genesis 19 is where we are going to start reading. And it says, that evening, the 2 angels came to the entrance of the city of Sodom. Lot was sitting there, and when he saw them, he stood up to meet them. Then he welcomed them and bowed with his face to the ground. My lords, he said, come to my home to wash your feet and be my guests for the night. You may not get up early in the morning. You may then get up early in the morning and be on your way again. Oh no, they replied, we would just spend the night out here in the city square. But Lot insisted, so at last they went home with him. Lot prepared a feast for them, complete with fresh bread made without yeast, and they ate. But before they retired for the night, all the men of Sodom, and young and old, came from all over the city. Now I'm going to need y'all to buckle up, buttercups, because this is about to get real, okay? They shouted to Lot, where are the men who have come to spend the night with you? Bring them out to us so we can have you know what with them. I ain't allowed to say that word on TikTok. So, Lot stepped outside. Okay, it's about to get real. Are you ready? Are y'all buckled up? And I know we're going to talk about this because y'all going to ask. Y'all going to ask why it's here. All right, so just hold on. So, Lot stepped outside to talk to them. Shutting the door behind him. Please, my brothers, he begged, do not do such a wicked thing. Look, I have 2 virgin daughters. Let me bring them out to you, and you can do to them as you wish. But please leave these men alone, for they are my guests and are under my protection. Stand back, they shouted. This fellow came to town as an outsider, and now he's acting like our judge. We'll treat you far worse than those other men. And they lunged towards Lot to break the door down. Yes, pickles, I tell you what. So I get lots of questions about this right here. Let's stop right here really quick. Why is that in here? You know, why is that in here? People ask, and I remember being when I first started reading the Bible, I started in the Old Testament and went all the way through, right? I stopped there and was like, why is that in here? Like, so I know that y'all are going to do the same. I also did it in Genesis 19, 30 through 38, because that's a little something too. We're going to get to that. Why is that in here? Just know that everything in the Word will teach you a lesson, right? And this right here is believed, all right, is Lot's failure to believe that God could handle the situation. Okay? It's pretty much what it is. And that being in Sodom had rubbed off on him. No. Nope. Lot did not know. Lot was very worldly. Is that what we call it? For example, when Abraham told him he could pick wherever the land he wanted, he saw the goodness of Sodom, even though it was already filled with like evil people. It was already filled with all kinds of wickedness and evilness, and yet he still chose to go there because it looked good, right? We talked about that. And he chose something simply because it looked good, not because of the fruits it was producing in their life, in the whole. Does that make sense? Yes, I love that, Jeannie, because I agree too. Because look, people, a lot about like the homosexuality, I guess. They think that that's just like a new problem, right? Or like a new thing that's just now started, but it's really not. Like in Genesis 19, it's introduced. You know what I mean? Like it's already there. So, it's the drama that I was talking about. I was talking about it yesterday. I said, if you are reading the Bible and it's not making you like close it and walk away for the day, then you're not reading it right? Like, because there is like so much drama up in this thing. Yeah, for everyone. I love it. Yes, and I think that's like what people forget. They forget that like, well, let me rephrase. They don't forget. They haven't ever read it. That's it. That's it. They have just simply picked and chose what they wanted to pull out of the Bible and not read it as a whole. And I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm not with that. Nope. That ain't what we do. I can't handle that. If you are going to quote scripture at me, be ready for me to quote it back. And be ready for me to quote the parts you left out because they're going to be there. And I just don't like that. You can't pick and choose which scripture you want to live by. Like, it's the whole thing. You can't just quote some of it and not quote the rest of it. I don't like that. We can't do that. I can't. Like, there are some people that believe, I seen on TikTok, this woman was sitting there telling everybody that if they had mental health problems, they were demon possessed. What? Like, I left so quick. I was like, hey, no, see y'all later, bye. Like, why are y'all listening to that? Because there are so many people in the Bible who suffered with, like, mental things going on in their mind. Like, Elijah ran away to a cave and hid there and asked the Lord to kill him. Because he was very overwhelmed with the task that he had. Everywhere in the Bible, you will see that people are overwhelmed, they're scared, they're discouraged. They're human. They dealt with the exact same things that we deal with today. So you can't leave that stuff out. You can't tell somebody, you just must not be strong in your faith because you're disbelieving. No, that ain't how that works. Because plenty of people in the Bible that had strong faith had disbelief. Abraham and Sarah are the perfect example. What did they do when the Lord told them that they were going to have a baby at an old age? What did they do? They laughed in disbelief. Even though they were great faith. And they're still listed in Hebrews 12, I do believe, the hall of faith is what we like to call it. Right? They're still listed there, but they laughed when God told them about a miracle. Like, I don't I get my point across. It's just not something we do. You can't get to chapter 2 without chapter 1. You have to read it all. Yes, I love that. Not like a mean one, obviously. Y'all funny. Y'all silly. Y'all silly. We ain't trying to do it like chapter 11. Yes, thank you. Of Hebrews is the hall of faith or whatnot. Like, I tell you what, like we just can't do that. We just can't. So that is in there. All right, it's there. We read it. All right. It's pretty hard to read. It is. It's rough. It's pretty hard to read, and we're not through yet. We got a little bit more rough stuff to go through on this, but we got a lot of good lessons learned too, right? But in the midst of it, let's talk about this: Lot's failure to believe that God could handle that situation. He felt like these men were wanting these people, and he didn't want that to happen. So he offered his daughters, which was ridiculous. How ridiculous! Anywho, though, he was trying to solve God's problems. He didn't trust that God could solve them himself, right? So he wasn't trusting in the Lord, right? That's what it boils down to. I love that. I love that you're at the gym listening to Coffee Talk. Aw, that's so cute. Like, all right. So that's that. Plenty of us can relate. We might not do that. Please don't do that. That's Lot had issues, all right? Just like we all do. But let's not do that. But there are times in our life where we think, hey, I can fix this problem. When really you can't. You can't. You can't fix the problem. It's not your problem to fix. Your job is to give it over to the Lord. His job's to fix it, okay? We need to quit trying to play his part. We just got to do our part, not his part, okay? So, that's it. All right, we got through it. Praise the Lord. All right, let's keep reading. Verse 10. But the two angels reached out and pulled Lot into the house and bolted the door. Then they blinded all the men, young and old, who were at the door of the house. So they gave up trying to get inside. So the angels intervened. Okay, we're in Genesis 19 this morning. The angels intervened. Praise the Lord. I tell you what. Lot had made like a terrible mistake right there in what he offered, and these people were still going to try to push in. Like, they were determined. We're going to get in here. We're going to, do whatever we want. And the angels are like, back up, hold up, like, we got this, They slammed the door, and, they pulled Lot in the house. They locked everything, and then they made these people blind so that they couldn't physically do any harm, which is, so much better than what Lot did. Let's just say that. All right, verse 12. Meanwhile, the angels questioned Lot. All right, this is where it gets good, all right? Do you have any other relatives here in the city? They asked. Get them out of this place, your son-in-law, sons, daughters, or anyone else. For we are about to destroy this city completely. The outcry against this place is so great it has reached the Lord, and he has sent us to destroy it. So Lot rushed out to tell his daughter's fiancés, quick, get out of the city. The Lord is about to destroy it. But the young men thought he was only joking. I love this part because they heard a warning and they thought it was a joke. Now, I need you to let that sink in. How many times has the Lord warned you? Don't go that way. Don't do that. Don't go with them. Let them go by themselves. Don't invite yourself there. Don't step in there. And you went anyway. You ignored a warning. Yes, and Noah warned people for decades and no one listened. How many times have you ignored where the Lord has told you to be and you've had to reap the consequences because you didn't listen? They're about to reap some consequences, all right. They're about to die. I'm just saying, because they didn't listen. Because they didn't listen. What happens when you not listening results in your death? I'm just saying. Right? I'm just saying. So, they didn't listen. They were warned. And they chose not to care. Right? It's going to result pretty badly for them. Let's see how it works out. Verse 15. At dawn the next morning, the angels became instant? I think that's right. Hurry, they said to Lot, take your wife and your 2 daughters who are here. Go out right now, or you will be swept away in the destruction of the city. Now pay attention. When Lot still hesitated. Pay attention. When Lot still hesitated, the angel seized his hand and the hands of his wife, the 2 daughters, and rushed them to safety outside the city. For the Lord was merciful. When they were safely out of the city, one of the angels ordered, run for your lives. Do not and don't look back or stop anywhere in the valley. Escape to the mountains or you will be swept away. Listen here. Lot still hesitated to listen. The angels had to drag him out because he was attached to it. You ever been attached to something that just ain't good for you? You ever been that? You ever done that? Been attached to something that just ain't, where you're supposed to be? But you love it. Listen, I'm not trying to call anybody out, but I've been in some relationships like that. But I love him. But I love her. Well, she's not good for you. Well, he's not good for you. And you know it. Do not find yourself in a situation where you end up marrying somebody that you knew wasn't good for you because you love them and you think you can change them. No. The Lord, instructs you on unequally yoked marriages. And if I would have listened to that myself, I wouldn't have to have went through the heartbreak and the heartache that I have in my life. Right? Yes. Got a shirt and burned it. I love that. I love that so much. I am so proud of you. I am so proud of you for getting out of that. And let's take that aside. All right. Let's take that aside. What about the things we're attached to? He was attached to where he was. Let's think. When he left, he didn't take no women. When the angel set him outside of the city, he didn't take his wealth. Quite frankly, he ends up in a cave. He left. He ends up in a small town, small city, small something. We're getting ready to get to it. He couldn't take any of his things. When he moved in, when he got there, when he chose that, he was wealthy. He had the animals, he had the wealth, he had the kid, he had it all. He had it all. But he put his stewardness, the things that God gave him, into a situation where he could lose it all, and he did. I think we need to be, number one, more careful about where we put our things that the Lord gives us, to be good stewards of. But most and foremost, don't be so attached to something that when God tells you to leave, you ain't willing to walk. God tells you to walk, you better get to stepping. You better get to walking. Because he's liable to burn that city down and you gonna be stuck in it, You better listen. Don't be so attached to things that you are not willing to leave, that you're going to be hesitant when he calls you away. Now get this. Let's keep reading. Let's keep going. Watch this. Oh no, my Lord, Lot begged. You have been so gracious to me and saved my life. You have shown such great kindness. But I cannot go to the mountains. Disaster would catch up with me there and I would soon die. See, there is a small village nearby. Please let me go there instead. Don't you see how small it is? Then my life will be saved. Now, I didn't take no notes for this. It's just not something I was focusing on in my reading, I'll be honest with y'all. But I do want to say this. How many times have we said what he just said? You have been so gracious to me and saved my life, Lord. You've shown me such great kindness. But I just really can't go there. Like, I didn't take no notes on this. It's just coming to me. We do that all the time. We do that all the time. We say, Lord, you've been so good to me, but I can't really go there. Can I go somewhere else? Can I go to the small town instead of the big mountain? I just really can't go there. Now, the angel, was gracious enough to say, all right, the angel said, I'll grant your request. I will not destroy the little village, but hurry, escape to it, for I can do nothing until you arrive there. This explains why the village is known as Zora, I'm pretty sure I said that right, which means little place. Lot reached the village just as the sun was rising over the horizon. Then the Lord rained down fire and burning sulfur from the sky on Sodom and Gomorrah. He utterly destroyed them, along with other cities and villages of the plain, wiping out all the people and every bit of vegetation. I love that. Like, listen, I don't know because, the Bible ain't really going to talk about it. But surely there was a reason that they were telling him to go to the mountain. And he chose to tell them that he couldn't go there. Have a good day, Tina. Don't ever be the one that stands in the way of what God wants to bless you with. I think we talked a little bit about like the self-sabotaging thing. That's kind of what you're doing. The Lord wants to take you somewhere. And he wants to do great things in your life. And if you're not Sarah and Abraham and laughing in disbelief, you're Lot saying, thank you for being so good to me, Lord, but I just can't go there. Like, the Lord wants to bless us. And as long as we're living for him and doing the things. And it's often us that won't let him. It's often us who won't let him do good things in our life. Because we think we don't deserve it. But I've said it once, and I've said it twice, and 1,000 more times I'll probably say it. It's not about how good you are. It's about how great he is. Now I want you to see something else. Verse 26. But Lot's wife looked back as she was falling behind him, and she turned into a pillar of salt. Abraham got up early that morning and hurried out to the place where he stood in the Lord's presence. He looked across the plain toward Sodom and Gomorrah and watched as columns of smoke rose from cities like the smoke from a furnace. Lot's wife was worried about what she had left behind. Thank you. Lot's wife was worried about what she left behind. She was too attached to what she had left. Ain't it though, Angie? Ain't it though? How many times are we supposed to be moving forward in our life? But we're too focused looking backwards. Let me tell you something today. The Lord isn't going to take you back to a place he already delivered you from. And some of you need to understand that. He ain't going to take you back to somewhere where he's already brought you out of. No, he really ain't. Okay? He don't want you to go backwards when he's trying to make you go forwards, okay? Too many people are stuck in their life simply because they are looking back and not forward. They are attached to what they lost instead of the blessings that lie ahead. I'm going to tell you something. The blessings that lie ahead, if you'll just focus and get to them, you'll understand why you left. And you'll never want to go back. And you'll be praising God that you ain't having to go back. Every single day, that song, Walking Free, I love that song. And it says, he told me I never had to go back there again. I be praising so hard. I be praising so hard when I hear that. I don't want to go back there. But see, I spent a season of my life, all I wanted to do was go back. We spend seasons of our life just wanting to go back. If I could just go back and do it differently. Well, you can't. You can't. So quit reminiscing, move on forward. Well, if I could go back, I wouldn't have done it like that. It don't matter, you did it. Keep moving forward. Well, what if I go back there? He really said he's changed this time. I really don't care. You ain't, go forward. Like, unless it's your marriage, keep it moving. All right? Like, I'm telling y'all, quit focusing on the things that you've lost. You've lost them for a reason. They're not meant to go with you where you're going. All right? So, don't be Lot's wife and turn over here into a pillar of salt. Turn into something that can't be used, all right, simply because you are so focused on what you left. I go live on Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. I'm telling you what, don't be so attached to the things that you... Listen, the Lord called me. Let me tell you something really quick. The Lord, when I lost everything, okay, y'all know that. I talk about it a lot. I lost everything, all right? Do you know when I went to lose everything? Okay, so let me give you a little backstory. So, when I lost everything, it was partly because the Lord told me, you're done. And it was partly because my choice. So I lost everything. I realized I couldn't pay the bills in this farmhouse I was in. I realized that I couldn't keep those lights on because I kept having to call my mom, Mom, will you pay my light bill? Right? I realized I couldn't do these things. I realized I was at rock bottom. So what did I do? The Lord said, sell everything. So Lord, that's a big commitment, sir. Everything? Like, he didn't keep no, everything. And, yep. I said, all the furniture. But what happens when I get a new place and then I got out of furniture? Like, everything. I sold it all. My kitchen table, my washer, my dryer, my bed, everything. Everything. I sold it all. I said, Lord, I don't know where we going, but I've done sold all my furniture, so please lead the way, sir. Like, that's the type of relationship me and the Lord had. And he did. He led the way. And you know what leading the way looked like? It looked like me sleeping on a couch when my kids had a bed when I first finally got into like a little small trailer that I could afford on my own. It looked like living in an 800 square foot trailer over a 1,200 or 1,500 square foot farmhouse. It didn't look like I thought it would. But man, he was leading me to here, and this is everything I ever wanted. I'm living the life that I always dreamed that I would. I wrote it in a journal that this is what my life would look like within 10 years from now. The way to get here didn't look like I thought it would look. It ended up, I had to sell everything. I wasn't allowed to look back. He said, Kelsey, sell it all. I said, are you sure? He said, yeah. And I sold it and I didn't look back. There was no looking back. What was I looking back to? A power bill unpaid? I want to look back to that. Right? So I just didn't. I said, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I'm not going to do it. Lord, I'm going to sell everything. And I did. Sold it all. Moved in with my parents and worked my little booty off until I could afford me that little old trailer that had a broken window and no doors on it. And I said, this is home, boy. And everybody was like, that is not home. Do not live there. I said, I'm totally living here. This is it right here. They said, ain't no way God's leaving you that. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. This is home right here. It sure is. This is home. And they cried and they yelled and they said, your kids don't deserve to live here. I said, give me a minute to make it pretty. Like, what's wrong with y'all? And I put doors up and we changed the windows and we put in the AC and we made that thing into a home. And when people walked in, they were like, this ain't no little trailer. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Like, yes, it is. I told y'all to give me a minute and I could make it like this. Me and the Lord working together in this. And now, I live in a big old brick house. But not too big, because if you go too big, you can't clean it. You tell you what. You should be able to clean your house in a matter of 2 hours. And if you cannot do that, your house too big. I'm just saying. That's my thoughts. I guess unless you're paying somebody to clean it. But I'm not exactly doing that. So, but don't despise my whole point. If I would have been focused on looking back and questioning, like if I would have been focused on looking back and was so focused on questioning the Lord, okay, I could have, Lord, why do we got to sell all this? Lord, I don't want to sell all this. Lord, I don't want to leave this house. Lord, I love this house. I don't want to leave this house. Lord, why do I have to move back in with my parents? I don't want to do that. Listen, I'll tell you what. Everything he made me do, I didn't want to do, but I had to do anyway. Straight up. Let's just get real. You're not going to want to do the first steps the Lord's telling you to do. You're not going to want to. Because it is going to be the hardest thing that you ever did. It's going to mean walking away from something that you think you've built, that you're attached to. It's going to mean leaving people behind. It might mean that everything behind you burns when you walk out. I don't know what it's going to look like. Right? But what it does have to look like is I'm going to do what the Lord has called me to do, and I'm going to do it in obedient faith. And I'm not going to look back. I sold it all and I left. I didn't look back. I focused on the future. I said, Lord, I don't know where you're taking me, and this ain't exactly how I imagined it, but let's go anyway. Me and the Lord, I be talking to him like, I talk to him like he's my friend, because he is. He's my friend and my father. Right? And I said, Lord, I'm out here trusting you, but, like, it's a little sketchy. This neighborhood is a little sketchy, you know. I remember going over here to that little trailer. Y'all gonna laugh. Everybody else had left. It was just me and Ethan at the house. And I said, Ethan, let's go look at this little trailer. I tell you what, let me tell y'all how I found that trailer real quick. Somebody was complaining about it. Somebody had posted that trailer and all these pictures, and they said, don't ever rent from these people. Like, they're so this, and this, and they're bad, and they're just this. And I said, that looks like a nice trailer. I think I'm gonna message them. Tell me not to do it. I totally do it. And I did. And they said, yeah, you want to come look at it? I said, yeah. I had no idea what I was walking into. Not one idea what I was walking into. I said, Ethan, let's go. I tell you what, I prayed all the way there. Lord, please protect me. I don't even know where we're going, Lord. I do not know. We could be driving right up on into something that I don't even want to be part of. But we're going. Like, I prayed his protection over me the whole way to that little trailer, because I did not know where I was going or who I was walking into. But that was the biggest blessing of my life. Biggest blessing. Not chasing feelings, surrender. Yes. So, you got to know the difference between the Lord and the enemy, right? What are feelings of the Lord? What is the way that the Lord treats you and the Lord loves you? Okay? And the enemy is always going to bring confusion. Okay, God is not a God of confusion. The enemy will bring confusion. The enemy will bring the negative things, the shame, the doubt, the guilt, all these things, right? And the Lord don't bring those things. The Lord gives convictions, which makes you feel like you've been whooped, so to say, by a parent, right? Like that's what that feels like. So, for example, I don't cuss, right? I don't do that. I quit that a really long time ago. But if my mind even thinks of a word, a bad word, I'm like, Lord, I'm sorry. I ain't in control of my thoughts. I said, sorry, Lord. Like, I'm immediately like, sorry. Right? Like, that's like what conviction feels like. The minute you do it, you're like, oh, nope. Did I should be doing this? Lord, I'm sorry. And you're immediately asking for forgiveness. Right? The enemy is not going to want you to have any part in what like God is doing. So he's going to give you doubt, confusion, shame, guilt. And all these different things. You got to look at the word. The Bible will give you all the answers to that. If you're being slow to anger, that's not of the Lord. That's of the enemy, because it says be slow to anger and slow to speak. If you are quick at the mouth, slow to speak, that's not of the Lord. That's of the enemy. Any of those things. Are you being impatient? Impatience ain't of the Lord. The Lord says to be patient. That's of the enemy. Like the things that are opposite of what God has said. Does that make sense? Yeah, so that's got like how you differentiate that. But I want to tell you something else. Watch this. So in Luke 17:32, Jesus tells us not to remember the evil men of Sodom and Gomorrah, okay, but Lot's wife. This is how important this is. This is how important this is. Our biggest temptation in this world will be the temptation to be attached to it. I love my house. I don't want to lose it. I'm going to tell y'all what. I loved that farmhouse. I thought that was my dream house. I love this thing's beautiful. It was beautiful. It was 2-story. It's everything I want more. Like, it was everything. It's what I thought I'd always have. No. Lord said, no, it's really not. It's really not. But I was tempted to be attached to it. Lord, I don't want to sell everything. I love this house. Why can't you just make a way for me to pay these bills? Because you're not supposed to be here. He said, you're not supposed to end up here. This isn't the end of your story. Now do as I tell you. Right? When Jesus brings it up in Luke 17, he don't tell you to remember how evil those people were. He says, remember Lot's wife. Don't be looking back. Right? We're not called to be attached to this world, and our flesh is going to want to be. Our flesh wants to be attached to our homes and our friends and our cars and our this and our money and all these things that are worldly that they're not gonna go with you. When you leave here, they're gonna mean nothing. And quite honestly, you can spend your whole life building. You could like save up millions of dollars in a savings account and have a mansion, okay? And say you got 3 kids and now all of a sudden you've died. Guess what happens? Instead of all of that bringing them together, it starts dividing them. Well, I want this. Well, I want it. Well, I want this. Well, I want it. Well, I want this. Well, I want it. And they start fighting. So you worked so hard to get the money and the fame and the fortune and this and that. For what? Your kids to fight over it when you're gone? I think not. Listen, the best parts of my life were spent in the trenches. I'm not saying I won't leave my kids nothing, but it's going to build character for you to have to figure it out. And I'm not trying to be harsh, but I'm not doing it. Figure it out. You need to lean on the Lord. Lean on the Lord. That's how you're going to figure this out. I'm not trying to make them any sort of anything, right? Because they are going to be on their own walk with the Lord. Right? And I don't want to make them dependent on me. So what am I going to do? I don't want to pass you down nothing. Listen, I'm going to tell my kids, if y'all fight over this house, I don't know how old I'm going to be, but I'm going to look at it and I'll be like, if y'all fight over this house, I tell you what, I'm going to leave it to the neighbor. I'm going to leave it to the dog before I leave it to you. If y'all fight over, I'm serious. I will have that conversation with my kids. I'm not leaving y'all nothing to fight over. Everything that y'all have should bring you together. Supposed to be best friends. Unity. Right? So what does it matter, right? What does it matter? But here's the thing. We're called to be in the world working for the good and the glory of Him. We're not called to be attached to these things in life. We're called to be attached to Him. Because, Lord, no matter where you take me, it's right. No matter what you do in my life, it's right. No matter where you say go, I'm going. Your plan's better than my plan. I don't even want to do my plan. I like your plan better. Like, I thought when I moved into that farmhouse, I thought, man, this is something. I said, I love this. This is great. I love it. Let me tell you about that farmhouse. I lived there and couldn't keep the lights on, couldn't pay the bills, and I worked so much that I never seen my children. It wasn't worth it. You know what God also called me to do when He called me to sell everything? He said, quit your job. I said, but Lord, I'm a single mother now. What am I supposed to do? He said, quit. Lord, are you sure? He said, quit. I did. I said, they thought I was crazy. They thought I done lost my rocker. I was selling everything in my house, and I quit my job. They're like, what's she gonna do? What she lost her rocker? What she think she gonna do? They were talking about me. They said, what are you gonna do? I said, I don't know. And they said, you gotta have a plan. The Lord, I don't know. I don't know. And then, right? And then, you know, got that, He presented the job that I needed. When I quit that job, do you know He presented me with another job that was 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. The exact time my kids were in school. Yeah. He said, quit your job, sell everything you own, get settled into your parents' house, and then I'm going to take you some places. Right? I just kept doing it. Okay, I did it, Lord. Okay, I done it, Lord. Okay, I done it, Lord. He said, pick up your Bible, learn about me a little bit. Okay, I'm doing it, Lord. I'm doing it. And then I got to this part. Lord, why is it in there? Why'd you put that in there? I think I'm done for today. Like, I got to that part, you know, the part we're getting ready to read. I was like, I think I'm going to be done with it. And then I looked at my parents. Why did I put that in there? I'm not sure why they put that in there. I don't think we could have let that part out, you know? Like, that was me. And then I went to work, and I've done my job, and my kids got out of school, and I got, you know, I was out of work in time to be with them. I was saving my money. He said, okay, here's your place. Okay, here's your place. Are you sure? Lord, it's missing doors. He said, I'm going to provide the doors. Lord, it's got like, I don't know what went through that window. The sun went through it. It's okay, we're going to replace it. Lord, it don't got no AC. I got to buy units. That thing's expensive. He said, I'm going to provide those for you. Lord, I need a new fridge. Oh, I got you. And in the process of giving you that new fridge, I'm going to show you your future husband. Oh, he do it. Won't he do it? And he did. It's a true story. This is what happened to me. Seriously. Like, I'm telling you, if I would have been focused on looking back on what I had lost, okay, I wouldn't be here today. We do Bible study on here. We have a lot going on. So if you go to the link tree in the bio, you can see all the things that we do. We read the Bible in a year. We do coffee talks Mondays, Thursdays, Fridays at 7:30 a.m., Tuesday nights at 7 p.m., and all of that's here. There's lots of options for you and Facebook groups. Like, we provide lots of resources, so you can go check those out and see what's best for you. But don't look back. I know you want to. And I know that you thought that you were already on top back there. I know you thought, this is it. This is the year. This is my year. I got this. This is it. I'm going to say right here. And the Lord said, LOL. It's cute that you think that. And then He disrupts your whole life. Yep. I'm with you. I've been there. Let me promise you something. It was worth it. it was worth it. See, when Abraham left everything to go do what the Lord called him to do, it was worth it. And you see, this how long later, when he called me to leave everything that I know and sell it all and start all over, it was worth it. I was wondering, Lord, how am I going to be able to do this? I ain't never been a single mom. I've been a stay-at-home mom. Lord, how am I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this, Lord. And he said, I don't need you to know how. I need you to be teachable. I need you to be willing. I need you to do what I'm asking you to do. I don't need you to know all the answers. I just need you to move. And I moved. Every time he said, do this, I did it. Do this, I did it. Do this, I did it. I didn't need to have all the answers. He was leading the way. And now this is like what I get to live at. And I tell people, I didn't always live there. My life didn't always look like this. I had no idea what life was going to look like 3 years down the road. I tell you what, though, I didn't imagine this. And it really did seem hopeless. It did. It was very hopeless. Every picture that I look at, I created that little TikTok about, watch me grow throughout the years. Every picture, I know I told y'all a story and y'all like, ooh, that's moving. But man, if you knew what I knew about that woman behind those photos. What about the one in that video where it was me and the 2 kids and the dog outside playing in the snow? That was the first big snow after their father had passed. I was questioning every single day how I was going to be a single mother to these kids. Love you, Angie. Every single day. Lord, how am I going to do this on my own? I spent so many nights laying in bed with that dog, crying, rubbing him. And that dog is sitting right here today. He is wherever I am. I tell you what, that dog's my ride or die. Me and him been together for a long time. When something happens to him, y'all better check on me. Because he my baby. But me and him laid in those beds together. And I cried and I cried and I cried. Oscar, how am I going to do this? Talking to my dog. How am I going to do this, Oscar? At that point, I thought the dog was helping me raise him. How are we going to do this, Oscar? And he'd lay there until I fell asleep. Till I cried myself a little asleep. Christmas that year. Oh, that wasn't happening. That wasn't happening. I couldn't keep my power bill on. How's I going to do that? You see, I had some divine interventions, divine appointments. My kids had the best Christmas that year. Me and them kids and that dog, we slept in the living room underneath that Christmas tree. And I knew it was going to be the last Christmas we spent in that house. And I really had no idea what next Christmas was going to look like. I said, Lord, I don't see a way, but I know you can provide one. And he did. That's probably the best Christmas my kids have ever had. Toys for Tots showed up at my door like Santa. I was like, what? How'd that happen? I'm telling y'all. And there's just so much more to my story and me. But I want to try to get through this because I want to answer the last things. But if I would have looked back, I might not be where I am today. But I wasn't focused on the things I had left behind. I was focused on the things that were coming. I said, Lord, you're telling me. And I'll tell you what. I'll be honest with you. When he was telling me to do those things, I didn't realize he was telling me to do it. I didn't realize that that's what we were doing. I had no idea I was doing what he told me to do. No idea. But man, I look back today and I said, Lord, you were in it all along. You were there. You were there with me the whole time. You seen me when I spent the night in that hotel because I didn't have anywhere else to go. You seen me every night when I cried myself to sleep. You watched me. You kept me. I got cold chills. Woo. He was in the whole thing. The whole story. But at that time, I just didn't know. But I can look back today and know for certain he was there. He was there. And he brought me here. So please don't spend your life looking back. He ain't delivering you from something so that you can go back to it in a year. When he delivers you from it, he redeems and restores you from it. All right? You're not going to have to go back there. Don't look back. That's not where he's taking you. He makes a way when there ain't no way. Yes. I think I seen live throughout the week. Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Monday, Thursday, and Friday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, let's keep reading because I really want to go over this, my friends, because I know you're going to have questions. But the Lord listened to Abraham's request, and he kept Lot safe, removing him from disaster and the engulfed cities on the plain. Let me tell you something really quick. Well, I'm sorry, I got to stop one more time. Who you surround yourself with matters, because Abraham prayed for Lot and God saved Lot because of Abraham. So your friends can be saved because of you. That's all I need to say about it. Be the one who prays. Be the one who has the faith. Be the one who will bring God into a situation that's godless, because of you, it can be changed. I just need to throw that in there. When you're on this walk right here, I'll tell you what. Be the friend that brings God into the equation so that your other friends can be saved. Okay? That's some good stuff. That's some good stuff. All right, let's talk about some hard stuff. All right? And then I'm going to tell you why it's in here, because it's a little bit ridiculous. I know. Let's read it. This is the part that I read in my Bible, and I was like, you really got to put that in there? I just really don't think you had to put that in there. But he did. It had purpose. And let me read you. Let me tell you why. All right. Y'all ready? Y'all ain't ready. Buckle up. All right. Afterward, Lot left Zorah because he was afraid of the people there, and he went to live in a cave, like I said, in the mountains with his 2 daughters. This is where it gets funky. All right. One day, the older daughter said to her sister, there's no man left anywhere in this entire area, and we can't get married like everyone else, and our father will soon be too old to have children. So come, let's get him drunk, boy, with wine, and then let's have what type of relationship with him. Can't say those words on TikTok. That way, we will preserve our family line through our father. Ew. Gross. Okay. So that night they got him drunk with wine, and the older daughter went in and had intercourse with her father, and he was unaware of her lying down or getting up again. Perfect. The next morning, the older daughter said to her younger sister, I had so-and-so with my father last night. Let's get it. Let's do it all over again. I'm going to spare you some details right here. Let's do it again. So that night, they done it again. And then the younger daughter did it. Okay. And before he was unaware of her lying down or getting up again. Perfect. As a result, both of Lot's daughters become pregnant by their own father. When the older daughter gave birth to her son, she named him Moab, and he became the ancestors of the nation known as the Moabites. And when the younger daughter gave birth to a son, he became known as Benjamin, and he became the ancestors of the nation known as the Ammonites. I don't know, it's hard to say. Listen, let me tell you something. I know it's weird. All right, I got you. It's fine. We know. It is, it's all right. All right? Let me tell you something. Here's the note I wrote down for you. Y'all ready to hear what it's going to teach you? The daughters were focused on the wrong things. Okay? And they committed sin, okay, because of it. And the produce, okay, what came about from this, okay, result in nations that are going to be enemies of God. All right? Your one big lesson you can learn from this is when we try to solve God's problems, okay, we often create more problems for ourselves. God could have took care of this. God could have led them somewhere else. He could have brought them more husbands. Like, all they had to do was trust a little bit, and they just did it. You see, because listen, you got to remember they had lived in this town of Sodom and Gomorrah. A bunch of evil people, a bunch of evil things going on, all these crazy people. All right, it rubbed off on them. You will never be able to make me believe that what you surround yourself with won't rub off on you, because it will. It will, 100%. So being around all this, even though they got to escape because of Abraham, all right, it still didn't take the bad out of them. Okay? When we try to solve God's problems for him, we create more problems for ourselves. Like, yes, girlfriend, I hope you feel better. Like, and I tell you, it's going to get good. I know you're like, God wiped everything out. So why was bad still there? Well, let me tell you. So Noah's family was saved because of Noah and Noah's faith and Noah's obedience. But guess what? One of Noah's sons, here we are, was a little on the bad side. And that resulted in a whole bunch of other, trickling down on the line, okay? Generational curses, if you will. We are mere humans, and we will forever be imperfect. Okay? Forever. Satan had already fallen to this world. So it was inevitable that evil was going to still be here. Okay? And it is today. It's all good versus evil, right? But the best part about it is, I know some of it's funky. But the best part about it is that God will take some people in these generations, and we'll see them break generational curses. And then we'll see them end up in the bloodline of Jesus. Tell you what. Let me just tell you what. Yes. Did you light it? Sir!
I had to let it soak in.
Morning.
You did finally find Christian TikTok. Good morning. Dog, no. Quit. No. Is that Oscar? Or is it Charlie? I'm not sure. One of the dogs trying to open the door. It's 8:30. Trying to decide what I want to do. Either way, a lot of good's going to come out of this, okay? Yes, curses are broken. Yes. We will see them. We will see some people break those. And, a lot of people had questions about our Bible reading of the year. Let's see. When one of Noah's sons did him wrong, okay, he cursed his son, okay? So, Noah's son did him wrong, but then God cursed Noah's son's son. Noah's nephew, maybe. Is that better? Does that make sense? They said, why'd they do that when it ain't his fault? Quit, Charlie. He said, why'd he do that when it wasn't his fault? I want to let you know right now, and you should take this very, very seriously. It shows you that your sinful nature can affect the ones after you. Okay? That is what it's going to teach you. That is what it's going to show you. Charlie, will you stop it? You can make a mistake, and it will affect your children. That's why you need to take the things that you do in your life very seriously. Right? Very seriously. Because it will affect your children. Will you hush? You ain't getting in there. Come here. Come here. You ain't going in there. He wants to go in there with Haley. He don't want me. He wants Haley. He wants Haley, and he wants Oscar in there with Haley. Let's see. And then you keep on reading. Charlotte, come here. And then you keep on reading. No. Come here. Look. He's too big for this. Look. See, you don't want me. What's up? What's wrong with you? Don't lick me. You keep on reading. And you're going to read about how Abraham performed the same stunt that he did before that we've already read about. But here's another part that I really like. We're just going to read it. He is getting so big. Look at him right there. Get him. I want to tell you one more thing before we get off here. Got my arm. All right. You're going to keep on reading and you're going to see Abraham perform the same stunt that he did before with telling people that his wife was actually his sister. But I want you to read something. Even though he pulled that same stunt in Genesis 20, verse 7. Now return the woman to her husband, and he will pray for you, for he is a prophet. Abraham was still God's spokesman in spite of his sin. I need you to let that sink in. I need you to quit condemning people for their sin because you think their sin makes them unworthy. You ain't worthy either, and you sin too. Okay? If Abraham can make the same mistake, he just did this. He just did this, and he knew that it wasn't right. He knew this. We done did this. And he did it again. He did it again, because fear got a hold of him again. If Abraham can make the same mistake and God still say he is a prophet, God chose him in spite of his sin. Okay? And Abraham almost threw God's promises away because, listen, God was over here promising him a son that hadn't come to pass yet. I tell you what. And Abraham almost messed it up. I tell you what, I want to know how many times we have almost messed up the promises that God has wanted to give us, and God has intervened so that we could keep them. I'm going to tell you what, that right there. God showed up and talked to the king and was like, hey, this is what's going on. You need to talk to Abraham because he is a prophet. I can just see it now. I tell you what, he done did it again. He's a prophet. Like, you need to go talk to him. Don't do that. I don't know what's wrong with Abraham. Abraham getting on my nerves. Like, I see God having humor. But God intervened so that Abraham and Sarah could keep the promise that God gave them of a son. I tell you what, how many times has God intervened in your life because you were about to mess up a promise? And God said, hold up, let me intervene, because gosh, if she has to do this on her own, she's going to miss all her promises. Let me intervene real quick. That's the type of Lord we serve. One that'll intervene on our behalf even when we're in the wrong, because he says you're chosen, but you're doing this a little bit the wrong way. So let me intervene so that I can still grant you promises. That is so good. That is so good. And I'm really glad that I serve a Lord, I tell you what, that'll intervene when I'm wrong so that he can still bless me simply because he wants to. I'll tell you what, that's good. That's some good stuff. That's some good stuff. All right? And then you keep reading and you're going to read the birth of Isaac. And now one more thing that I want to tell you, you're going to read about the birth of Isaac. And Sarah declared, all right, this is Genesis 21, verse 6. And Sarah declared, God has brought me laughter. All who hear about this will laugh with me. Who would have said to Abraham and Sarah would nurse a baby? Yet I have given Abraham a son in his old age. They used to laugh in their disbelief and in their mocking, because the Lord said you're going to have a baby. And they said, no, we're not. And they would laugh in mocking and disbelief. But not only did God intervene and let him keep the promise, they now laughed with joy. Because God came through. I want to tell you right now, you may have been laughing in disbelief. God, there ain't no way that you could do anything with this situation. I've done messed it up too bad. There ain't nothing nobody could do to fix it. I'll tell you what. And everybody's saying God can do it, and you're laughing. You're saying, no, he can't. He can't. I've been messing up too bad. But pretty soon you're going to be laughing out of joy and not out of disbelief. I think that's some good stuff. Some good stuff and a good stopping point for the day. And I hope that helps you with y'all's daily reading today. I hope that helps y'all with y'all's daily reading y'all got going on today. I only go live on TikTok. Yes, I love that. God is all in, all divine intervention in my life. Yes. I only go live here. What verse was what? The one I just read about laughter? No, I just kind of overviewed. Everybody wanted an overview, so I just gave an overview. The one about laughter was Genesis 21. It starts at verse 6. I think it's verse 6 and 7. Genesis 21, verse 6 and 7. Yeah, Dina. So the takeaway was when we try to solve God's problems for him, we create more problems for ourselves. But then I made a box around it and I put the daughters were forced. The daughters were focused on the wrong things. They committed sin because of the produce. They committed sin, and because of it, the produce of this sin would result in nations that are going to be enemies of God's. No, they only had one, Holly. Ishmael. And Abraham didn't want to send him away, but the Lord told him that it would be okay. Yep, we're going to read about that next. It's going to be some good stuff. Appreciate you guys. Yes, it does. What he told them to name the baby meant he laughs. So, it's a twofer. Because now every time they said his name, they're going to remember that they mocked God, but they're also going to remember that they laughed in joy. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Oh boy, let's see. The daughters were focused on the wrong things. They committed sin, and because of it, the produce of this sin would result in nations that are going to be enemies of God's. I hope y'all have a fabulous day. I'm about to starve. I've been up since 5. My whole house is clean. I've done coffee talk, and now I gotta go to work today. And I'm about to starve. I think I might have to get me some breakfast first. There wasn't really any notes, but if somebody took some, maybe Holly could post them if she wrote any down. Oh, you're so sweet. Listen, I don't mind not having, a lot of views. Let me tell you why. restores and redeems. Eggs and toast sound delicious. I don't care about my views simply because they I think that the Lord will put exactly the right people in front of me, and everything I've built has been built with like a small following, so to say. So I just like won't he do it? Like I used to think that you had to have like millions and thousands of views to like be somebody, so to say. And that's not true. And like, it's just kind of like, won't he do it? Like, and I didn't have to have millions of people on my life for him to change my life. Like, I never make it about millions of people. I make it about one person every single day. To me, it's not about 20 people a day or 5 or 117, whatever's on here. It is simply about one person. If I can help one person every single day, that's 365 people that I can help in a year. And now times that by 2 and 3 and 4 and what I could do like for the rest of my life. So I never make it about 10 or 20 or hundreds. I always make it about one. And as long as one person is being helped and learning, then that's all that I ever care about. Oh, you are so sweet. I'm so glad that I can help, but it's just the Lord. I'm just a vessel. I'm a vessel that he uses, and I'm honored to be it. That everything is his, and he does it all. That one person. Adrian, I love you so much. Y'all were sweet. But it's just about one person. And, the more views you have, like, we already get, like, trolls, so to say. The more views you have, the more of that, like, you're inviting in, And while I don't mind it, and, none of that even ever really bothers me, it's still, one of those things where I don't want people to be so focused on reading the comments and all the trolls that we have that, like, they miss the word. You know what I mean? So I say it every single day, and I'll just tell y'all what I say. Every day when I wake up, I say, Lord, if you don't bless me with another thing, you've blessed me enough. And I mean it every time I say it. If he'd never done not one more thing for me, he's already done more than I deserve. And that's just how I go into every day. Y'all are so sweet. Yep. I love y'all so big, though. It's almost 9 o'clock. I need to go eat breakfast and get my day started. I got lots of prayer journals to make today. It's going to be a good day. I'm really glad that I woke up at 5. I'm really glad that I committed to myself. I tell y'all what, I so bad wanted to hit that snooze button this morning and just go back to bed and not worry about it and do it later. But I am really glad that I got out of that bed and got my whole house clean before the sun even got up. And just spent that quiet time with the Lord cleaning my house, And it is just, it's going to be a great day because of it. So I love y'all so much. I hope y'all have, I do record these. All my videos I haven't recorded them all, but I have started uploading them to YouTube. See, now we can listen. I did work out, Adrian. What you talking? I cleaned for 2.5 hours. My house was gross. Like, my house was horrible. So I was like, I'm committed. And I did. And it felt great. And I'm really glad we get to start the day out like this. So it's going to be a great day. I'm going to record some behind the scenes today. Probably post TikTok later. Cleaning is workout. Y'all I had to change that mop water 3 times. That's hard. I make it a non-negotiable. How do I stay disciplined to read every morning? It's a non-negotiable to me. It's not something I can waver in. If I am sick and I make a doctor's appointment, I'm not going to miss that appointment because I'm worried about being fined, right? Plus, I want to feel better. I need that medicine. Reading your word is the same. If you want, I love my spin mom. If you want to grow closer to the Lord, if you want to change your life, if you want to kick, sir, if you want to kick the anxiety and the depression, if you want to learn what the Lord says about you, if you want to know how He can intervene in your life, if you want to change your life, this is a spiritual appointment. This is a spiritual appointment for your soul. And if you won't miss your doctor's appointment because you want to get well, then don't miss your appointment with the Bible. Because it is your spiritual food for your soul. And it'll save your life. It'll save it. It'll change it. It'll restore it. It'll redeem it. It's my best friend, to be honest with you. So, make it a non-negotiable. And the more you do it, will you stop it? What? The more you do it, the more that you make that appointment with yourself and you don't miss it, it'll become a habit. Look at him. It'll become a habit and it'll be an appointment you don't want to miss. Best place to start? I would say, go on. I would say, the Gospels are great. The Gospels are good. Anything in the New Testament, I don't really think you can go wrong besides Revelations. Do not start there. That's ridiculous. Don't start in Revelations if you have no idea what the rest of the Bible says. Learn the rest of it first. But Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, they have a lot of very great lessons. And you learn about Jesus' life. So, that's what I would do. But we are also reading the Bible in a year, and you can find all those links in the link tree in my bio. Yeah, I started at the beginning, and when I started my journey with the Bible, I started at the beginning, and I read it all the way to the end. Yes, the Bible app is a great way to stay disciplined. Yes. Yep. So that's my best advice. Make a spiritual appointment, and don't miss it. You won't miss a physical appointment, so don't miss a spiritual one either. Wake up every day and do it. And even if it means you got to wake up 30 minutes earlier, go to bed 30 minutes earlier, and get up and do it. And it'll change your life, and it'll change your day. I study the Bible when I wake up and when I go to bed, both times. And then I study throughout the day for any teachings that I have to do. But every morning is me time with my Bible, and every night is me time with my Bible. And it's the best time of the day. Yep, even if you don't want to do it, do it. Yes. Yep. Yep, I agree. After so many days of doing it, I think some people say it takes 21 days to form a habit. Some people think it's 90. Personally, with the life I live, it's like impossible to build a habit. I'll be honest with you. I don't really consider it building habits. My goal is to wake up every single day and read my Bible. I didn't get to do that yesterday. I woke up super late yesterday. I didn't get to start my laundry for the morning. I didn't get to do anything in the morning before I had to jump on Coffee Talk. I jumped on here and I read a little bit with y'all. But then after that, I got it. I was getting it. Me and the girls were in the shop and we were working. I worked all day yesterday, literally, all day. Not any break except to eat lunch. And, time I was ready to go to bed, but I got in my study before I went to bed. So, it's not really that I form a habit that I sit down at this particular time every single day. It is simply just, I have to do this every day. and I'm not skipping it. So, like, my Bible reading, I didn't get to it yesterday morning like I usually would because I had a lot of other commitments. So what did I do that night? I really, really wanted to go to bed. I really, really just wanted to go to sleep. And I thought, I'm going to go in there and lay in that bed and I'm going to go to bed. But then I looked at my Bible and I said, no, I'm not. I'm going to read my reading for the day. And I did. I read my reading for the day and then I took my shower and I went to bed. But it wasn't something I was willing to skip out on for the day. So at some point of the day, I had to get it done. So this video will be posted tomorrow. And then the video from yesterday will be posted today. I try to do one day behind. Yes, I did. I slept like a baby. You right. I read a lot. I read my Bible reading in the year. I read and study whatever I need to do for our membership that I teach. And then I just try to make sure I finish my Bible in a year. So the Bible in a year can be anywhere from 2 to 3 chapters a day. So let's see. January 6th was the 8, Genesis 18, 19, and 20. So I've done all those. Today I will do 20, or I'll do 21, 22, probably in 23, the next day, 24, 25, 26. I do those, and then I study for whatever I need to study for to help whoever I need to help. I do have a membership, and that's what we do. We read together. We study together. I do a lot of teaching on how to actually start Bible journaling and how to do that as well. You get access to all of my digital downloads, all my Bible notes, lots and lots of resources. And you can totally decide if it's for you or not. It's a group of amazing people that are super supportive and super wonderful. And from what people tell me, they love it. It is a great resource and definitely helps people dig into the Word and learn the Word. And you can find all that in the link in my bio as well. Yes. Love you so big. It's monthly. It's monthly because every single week you get 2 digital downloads, a discussion, and we do 2 Zooms a week. So there's literally something for you to do Monday through Friday with the group. Yes, we love and cry together. We do. We so do. And you get access to all of my courses. So I create Bible courses. Those are a $25 value by themselves on my website. And you get access to all of those when you join the membership. You also get access to all of my digital downloads that are on my website, which if you was to buy them all today, you'd spend about $250. And you get access to all of it for $25. And then that's not to mention anytime I launch new things, anytime there are new downloads, new videos, or new whatever, you get access to all that. We read the Bible together. We have fellowship. We have chats. I don't even know. We do so much. You also get a discount. You get a discount on all of Purpose to Hope products. You get a 15% discount. It's definitely I consider it like great value. You ever been to Walmart and we're basically robbing her? You're silly. You ever been to Walmart? You buy the great value. I'm the great value. That's me. I'm great value. Hi. We are actually going to do our first meet and greet when I go to Kentucky at the end of February. But we're also doing a conference. Conference is going to launch to the membership first. It's going to be a whole weekend filled with breaking strongholds. And it's going to be our first conference that we have absolutely ever held. And it's going to be amazing. So we are actually doing those things. Yes, I will launch more details about the meet and greet. Just make sure you're in the Facebook group, Purpose Hope Facebook group, because I will probably make a post about it. Just go to the link tree and join the Purpose Hope Facebook group, and I'm going to post about it in there. So I'm actually going to be like on the Ohio-Kentucky border. I'm going to be around Noah's Ark and the Creation Science Center. So that'll help y'all kind of figure it out. I don't have all the details yet, but the lady who is letting us, somebody reached out and was super sweet and wanted to send us there and let us stay in their Airbnb. And I'm totally going to do videos on all of it and give them all the credit because this is so exciting. So we get to go and stay in her Airbnb and go to the Creation Science Center, and we're going to make time for the Ark. And she is going to help me figure out maybe a good place that I could do this little meet and greet so that people in that like area can come and just meet us if they want to. I don't know what city. I'm no good. Steve's the one who knows all that. I just know I'm right on there. I'll be at an Airbnb in Ohio, but I'm right there at the Creation Center and Noah's Ark. I am like 40 minutes from the Ark. You put it as a prayer. What is a prayer? I'm super excited. I'm going to document it all. Y'all know I am. Y'all know I am. But if y'all want to learn the info, yes. Thank you. Thank you, Crystal. I'm super excited about this Noah's Ark Museum. I'm excited about all of it. But if y'all want to know the details on the meet and greet when I post them, go to the Linktree Purpose of Hope Facebook group, okay? Purpose Hope Facebook group. That's where I'm going to post all that info at. All right, you guys. Well, I love y'all so big. I've got to get off here. I'm hungry. I need to go get some food. And then I got to get work done for the day. So I'm super excited. I hope y'all have a fabulous Friday. And I will be back here on Monday morning at 7:30 a.m. Yep, to do some more coffee talk throughout the week. My friend gave me this shirt. I have no idea. She made it and gave it to me. Y'all are so sweet. No, I did not mute Steve, but I gave him a good talking to last night. And by good talking to, I mean a good staring. Like, by yelling at him, I don't even got to yell, just like I've had enough of you, right? So that's what I did, and it worked. All right, I love y'all so big. Did he sleep? So he didn't have to. No, he didn't sleep on the tent, but it kind of worked out because he slept on the couch. I'm kidding. He totally done that because of the kids, but serves him right, you know? Yeah, I'm telling you. I can't. That man. Chew. All right. I love y'all so big. I hope y'all have a fabulous day, and I will see y'all on Monday. Bye, guys.